Hello, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be looking at young, talented Spanish defender. Yeah, he is Spanish, believe it or not. Cristhian Mosquera. So he has been heavily linked with Arsenal, and I think the deal is close to being completed and announced. He's he's a good defender from what I've seen. I haven't seen too much of him, so I'm gonna see a lot more from this compilation. Obviously, you know a lot more. So, what are your thoughts on him
Yeah,
from what you've already seen?
yeah, I'm a fan. I've been impressed. He's someone who I think the first thing that stands out is his 1v1 defending.
Hmm.
Definitely. He's got long legs and he makes those kind of tackles
Yeah.
that are kind of a bit like Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I'm not gonna say he's the same level, but
Hmm.
he can kind of make tackles where you're
Okay.
like, ooh, that was
Yeah.
wasn't expecting you to be able to make that.
Good at slide tackling. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But he's he's clever with his defending as well. I don't see him out of position, too much
Hmm.
in the games I've seen. I don't see him necessarily being too rash. Obviously, he's young, so
Yeah.
there's 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 room to grow in that aspect anyway. But I
Yeah.
think he's a great fit for Arsenal, especially with the types of centre backs they've got right now.
Okay. Yeah. So he looks quite quite tall, strong. Obviously he is La Liga, so he will stand out. Physically compared to most Spanish centre backs.
Yeah,
But yeah, so he's probably gonna come in and be Saliba's understudy, right?
yeah.
What? It's looking like 12 million pounds, 12 million
Yeah,
euros
that's
even.
that's an absolute bargain,
Absolute
honestly. I
bargain.
think honestly, looking through the whole of Europe, that might be the best value transfer I've seen so far.
Solid.
Yeah. Like look like this summer in the whole of Europe, I can't think of one where I've looked at the price and gone, whoa, that
Okay.
shocks me because he had a year left in his deal,
Mm,
but even still, I think it's one that you're gonna look at and be thinking, how were they able to get him for that price?
yeah. Okay. 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 So do you think he's good enough to potentially overtake Saliba in the future?
I think it's interesting. That's the question, right? Saliba isn't too old himself. He's only about 24.
Yeah.
And Gabriel on the other side, he's about 28. So maybe it'll be Gabriel. He could take his spot. But
Okay.
there's always the question of how long is Saliba going to stick around for,
Yeah.
right? And maybe he could be the guy to step in if Saliba does leave. But I know
Mm,
Arsenal fans won't thank me for linking him with a move away.
yeah.
He's the best defender in the world, I'd say
Yeah,
right now.
I mean Arsenal at the moment, even without Mosquera, their defensive depth is
It's
unbelievable.
insane.
Really.
I genuinely think it's the best I've ever seen because I think their back four already now is up there with
Yeah,
some of the best I've seen. But to have Ben White, Calafiori as bench players and then add in
exactly.
Mosquera, these are genuinely players that could play for top teams and start.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, man. Their defense is beyond sorted
Yeah.
now, especially, and they're just adding to it. Like, yeah, man. They're like Arsenal. Like, it's funny because like this is the era they were neglecting. Like during the times of Wenger.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
their
true.
their attack and their attacking midfielders.
It's
It's
so
like they had an overload of
yeah,
those
it's so funny
players
to
in
see
those
how it's
positions.
flipped, how it's
Exactly.
changed, right?
But they do have good attacking players,
Oh
and
yeah.
it looks like they are getting the balance right.
That's it. They were
But
on the cusp with the attacking play recently, but maybe they sorted that out this
yeah,
summer.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So being linked to big names as well for the
yeah.
attack for the attack.
I
But
think
yeah,
I think with Mosquera, he's as well as being a good 1v1 defender, he is he's quick. He
mm,
can get across the ground, he up ground very quickly.
yeah,
But he's a good passer, and
yeah.
in
And in
this,
this video, I've seen he do a lot of passes with both feet,
yeah, exactly. That's
which is
very impressive.
impressive.
Yeah, and he was playing that left centre back for Spain in the under 21 Euros,
Yeah,
and he dealt with that well. He looks very comfortable, which
yeah.
some people might not
So look
think
at that
much of that. Yes,
good left foot
there with his
pass.
level, but it's not too many top level defenders that are just as comfortable on both sides, right centre back and left
Yeah,
centre
it
back.
is
Honestly,
rare.
so
Like I'm just from memory as a United fan, I used to watch Chris Smalling week in week out. Very solid defender, but I never saw. I don't think I ever saw him make a pass with his left foot.
Yeah, he didn't have that in him.
Honestly,
Yeah.
so it is a good skill to have. Quite a rare skill as well as a centre back. But yeah, so he's good physically, good on the ball. And he just from the challenges he's making, it seems he's not doesn't seem like he's very rash.
Yeah.
So it seems that he's got that maturity. What doesn't he have?
Yeah, well, that's a good question because if I look at it, there isn't actually anything I would look at and say, oh, he doesn't have that. He does have the makings of a real top class
Yeah,
centre back. He really does.
yeah. Because like I saw a couple games at the Euros, and he was for Spain the under 21 Euros. Uh, Spain overall, they weren't a great. It wasn't a great Spain team. They've been like compared to recent Euros tournaments, they were quite bad. But he was definitely a standout player. Not just because he's black,
Yeah.
but he was quality wise, he was definitely one of the better players.
And that's the point I'm making, right? Because as you said with La Liga, these players, the black players, the guys like Nico Williams, Samu, they've stood out because they've offered what Spanish teams haven't had, in the past. That extra bit of physicality,
Exactly.
But he's also got the technical ability to match up with the other Spanish defenders.
Because obviously, that based on what you've just said, Premier League is a different beast when it comes to being being able to handle the physical side of football. Because a lot of teams focus on physicality before technique, but in Spain they are technique first.
Yeah.
So he's got it's kind of in question whether he'll be able to handle it. I guess that will just take a bit of time.
Yeah, but honestly, from what I've seen in the times I've watched him, he definitely looks like he's capable. Physically, he looks like a beast actually. And you have to remember he's 2021, so like he could probably grow in that aspect as well.
Definitely. Yeah, like players don't really get to like their physical peak until they're 20, at least 24.
Yeah,
really. 23 to 24, 25. That's around the time they really get to their physical peak. But yeah, man, great business from Arsenal. It's looking like their defense is complete.
Yeah.
They don't need to worry about the defense for years.
For years, honestly.
None of them are over 26. Who's their oldest defender? Gabriel.
Oldest defender. Yeah, Gabriel. He's 28, I think now.
Oh, he's 28.
He's experienced. Ben White's similar age, but they're sorted, and defenders can last a bit longer on average as well.
Definitely.
I think. They played a 15-year-old centre back as well.
Marley Salmon.
Yeah, and he looks like a special talent as well. So
So one long pass he did that's gone viral.
Yeah.
He looks decent.
Like, I think when everything is said and done now, you can now look at this Arsenal squad and think, all right, it can challenge for the league. It should be challenging for Champions League. Not just can challenge. It should be challenging.
Yeah, definitely.
Now the expectations are on Arteta to get the best out of the resources he has.
Yeah, man. Because this is what he's been building up to. Really, he's been building a formidable squad. I had my criticisms of Arteta in the past, but when you compare him to other coaches and the way they're handling things, you can only really give Arteta praise. Because a lot of these guys are clowns. Look at Amorim. The guy's an absolute clown.
One thing Arteta deserves credit for is if his initial judgment isn't correct, he's willing to learn and adapt.
Yeah.
Right? Which is really the whole point of being a top level manager. But I could give you the examples of Rice and Havertz. When he signed them, it looks like they were signed for different roles to what they play now.
Yeah.
Because initially Rice was played as a number 6 and Havertz played in midfield, but it just didn't work and it wasn't going to work. So he saw that and he's like, okay, well, I can get the best out of them in a different role, and there we go. He did it, and he that's it. You have to be, pragmatic is the word.
Definitely.
Is to be a top manager, and I think he's shown the signs to be. He he's willing to be adaptable, right? Sets them up defensively when he needs to, but they also have they're very good at building up their patterns of play are all very strong.
And the fact that, you know, Spain have, you know, made him a key part of their under-21 side. He might have even been their captain, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. But, you know, Spain, they don't necessarily like to use their, you know, black players unless they are exceptional.
When you see a black player there, you know that they must have something.
Exactly.
Yamal,
Nico
Williams, Samu, it's like got something that they don't have.
Before this generation, we didn't see a black Spanish player since Marcos Senna. Like 15 years, really. Yeah. But yeah, man. Well, we want to end it there. So yeah, man, great signing for Arsenal. I'm looking forward to see him in the League Cup and, you know, FA Cup, the games he does get to play. Bear in mind he is only 20, 21 years old.
I think he just turned 21.
Young. He's got bags of potential. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video. Please like, subscribe, and share. And see you next time.